Hey, what's going on, guys? It is the SMT. Thanks for tuning in to watch this edition of the channel. This video is going to focus strictly on what's up and coming in 2020. This auction coming at the end of this year, at least that's how it's planned. Things could change, but the FCC is really pushing for it. The C-band auction. This is spectrum that analysts are predicting to probably be the biggest auction of its type. Up to this point, there's been a lot of speculation about when this auction was going to happen. A lot of people were saying 2021, but it looks like the FCC is really pushing to bring it forward towards the end of this year, within the calendar year. So we're thinking Q4 of 2020, probably towards the tail end and the back part of it. Anyways, it's going to generate a record high in revenue. We're going to see tons and tons of politics to this moving forward. I know that satellite TV providers who have been owning and operating these licenses for the spectrum, you know, they want a big piece out of this, whatever revenue is going to be generated from the auction. The FCC has pushed to make this auction public, as opposed to the satellite operators. In the alliance, they've wanted to keep it private. I can tell you right now, that's a big push from Verizon wanting it public. They want in, and they need it bad. They're having a huge problem with congestion. They're really having to manage the network. It's only going to get worse as users continue to use more and more data and the bandwidth is needed. Now you guys can see here in the screen capture, you'll see all the spectrum holdings from each carrier. I've even included Dish in this because of their spectrum holdings and the potential for them, you know, becoming the fourth national carrier to replace Sprint, as according to the concessions and the divestitures and the build of the merger. So you could see AT&T's holdings in the lower bands, 850 or lower. You see they've got quite a nice amount of low band, so they don't need that. Verizon's low band is pretty set as well. You can see Sprint doesn't really have much low band. That's part of the problem that they've had in trying to make their network work for them. T-Mobile's got quite a bit of low band. They just haven't deployed it all yet. We know about the 600 megahertz build out, things like that. And you can see Dish has a little bit, and they'd be getting some more, you know, out of the merger from Sprint. They'd be getting Sprint's low band. Anyways, you'll see how Verizon is doing. You could see how they're doing there, but take a look at mid-band. You'll see AT&T has a really nice amount of mid-band spectrum, so they're in good shape. You'll see Verizon and T-Mobile are very similarly low on mid-band. In fact, a lot of people don't know this, but Dish has more mid-band than both Verizon and T-Mobile. Interesting situation there. Verizon and T-Mobile are specifically going to be the big gunners in this particular spectrum auction. They need it bad. And it's interesting because Verizon would probably build it out instantaneously, because Verizon needed the bid band yesterday. They needed this spectrum a long time ago. Once they went unlimited in 2017, they knew they were going to need it. They've been pushing for this auction. I know that they've been putting pressure on Ajit Pai, the FCC chair, to get this thing going, because you could see there's a correlation between congestion of networks and mid-band spectrum. It is really an important segment of frequency wave. So you could see also that they've included in the screenshot here the millimeter wave holdings. You could see Verizon and T-Mobile both have a lot of millimeter wave. I don't want to say a lot, but they've got it. You know, millimeter wave concentrations need to be high to be effective. So you could see how that's working. You could see Sprint doesn't really have millimeter wave. I'm not even really sure where they acquired that 0.8 concentration of megahertz. Who knows? Maybe it was for testing or something like that. But you can see Dish, you know, they could get involved. I mean, they'd need a loan, obviously. They've got their own spending that they've got to do. They've got to pay for boost. They've got to pay for those prepaid customers and that spectrum. But, you know, that's what's going on there. It's an interesting situation. Up for sale in this C-band spectrum auction, you're going to be seeing 280 megahertz of 3.7 to 3.9 gigahertz spectrum, all based on 5G. 200 megahertz remains with the incumbents. That's going to be staying with satellite TV operators. 20 megahertz will be guard band. Anyways, if you want to know more about this particular auction and all the details and the politics behind it, go ahead and get signed up to become a member of the SMT Patreon. I covered it all in a video there. It's uploaded and it's there for you if you are interested. Check the links out in the description box below. You can get access to that. And also in the description box, we've got the Twitter handle, we've got the Patreon page link, and also the podcast links are there. There's all types of goodies in there. Check out the description box before you guys go. And if you could, please rate this video, subscribe if you are new, hit that notification bell so you never miss an upload from the SMT. Again, more details on the Patreon video if you guys want to check that out. Anyways, glad you guys were here to watch. Appreciate it very much. I'm the SMT, and I will catch you guys on the next video. Peace.